Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Learn ECM. So in this video today we will see the extended ECM for engineering overview. We will also see what are the features, challenges and the benefit of this solution. So basically we'll try to understand what is this extended ECM for engineering solution. So this is again from OpenText. So OpenText is the vendor which has their flagship XCCM platform. So this engineering solution is also part of one of the extended ECM solutions. So we will see all those overview and the details, and also we will see one example in the system at the end, like how we use this engineering solution with a very simple basic example. So thanks for joining me today here. So let's continue with this video. Just a quick disclaimer here. So this video is as per my understanding and it's not from OpenText, and please check the documentation for the for implementations or for the official information. So having said that, let's start with this video. Hello everyone. So now we will see the overview of extended ECM for engineering solution. So to understand what exactly is this solution and where we use this particular solution. So extended ECM for engineering is a business solution designed for managing engineering content. And this is for users who work in industries such as oil and gas, power generation, mining, steel manufacturing, or manufacturing of any kind. Because generally all those industries involve engineering documents. They create the design drawings. Based on that, they execute their projects. So any industry which are in manufacturing or producing certain goods which requires engineering uses this solution. So that's the target industry for this particular solution. And what it provides, it provides a secure and collaborative repository. So for maintaining all those assets or all the documents related to the assets, and also helps with the sharing of this drawings within the organizations as well as with outside vendors who are involved in that particular process. So overall it helps us in managing all the engineering documents. And it gives us certain tools that we will see in detail, like what are the tools, what are the features that this solution provides, which helps with overall management of engineering document. So as we know, OpenText ECM is a document management platform. So on top of that, they have this engineering, which sits on top of OpenText XCCM suite or XCCM platform. With certain specific functionality related to engineering. So it's an integrated extended ECM platform, and it helps manage the complete life cycle, starting from planning till designing until let's say decommissioning of a particular asset. So all the way from the start of the life cycle, start phase of a particular asset till the decommissioning of that particular asset. So it's a single source of truth for all engineering documents. So if you see the definition here for a given asset, it also provides the mechanism for revising the documents in case of a revision and sharing the document with external collaborator via transmittals. So these are few of the highlights of this particular solution. So all in all, it's an engineering based or engineering solution for industries which are in this particular domain. Now let's see one example here. So as we discussed, this solution helps in managing the entire life cycle of an asset. So let's say asset management with XCCM. So we know, so there are different modules. Let's say SAP asset management that OpenText provides the solution for. So this engineering solutions integrates very well with those solutions as well. So if you are aware of extended ECM for SAP, so there we have plant maintenance module. So if you integrate that plant maintenance module with the content suite, then you get the workspaces for let's say functional module, equipment, material. So now this solution also integrates very well with those business workspaces, and then you will have functionality on top of that which is specific to engineering. So we will see all those things. So let's say this particular example. So we start with plan and design. Then the next phase in an asset lifecycle is to procure and construct. Then the commissioning will happen. So the asset will be live, like that will be used. Then there will be a team who will operate and maintain that particular asset. There will be periodic changes to the documents related to these assets. And after that, like once the cycle is complete, then either we'll modify or decommission the particular asset. So like all these phases includes different functionalities. Like here is planning, building and commissioning, then asset visibility and performance, then optimized asset operations and maintenance, then asset safety and compliance. So there are the different functionality that are part of an asset. So now if you see from the XCM perspective, like there are different workspaces that are available to manage all these phases. So we have a project workspace like for planning and designing. Then supplier workspaces are available. So this is in combination with our XCM suite. But just to understand the entire life cycle of the asset, we are going through this particular example. Then we have notification, workspace order workspaces, functional location, equipment workspaces. So these are the different workspaces which are available for managing the document related to that particular phase. And we can then reuse these workspaces in our engineering solution as well. So here if you see like existence of engineering sits in on top of this to help us manage the entire life cycle of this asset. Now let's see what are the different challenges that industry faces and why there was a need for such a solution. Like we already have a document management system, and on top of that we already have XCM for SAP as well. Then why we need this engineering solution? So there is a problem related to let's say outgrowing systems. Like the current solution for managing engineering work are getting huge. So there is always a challenge to manage the entire process around those engineering documents. So engineers are not sure like which is the latest document they should use while working on any change, or how to manage the versions, like the final version, so that you always use the latest document. So outgrowing systems, then buried and incomplete information. Engineering teams can't find the right information. Then there is a problem of control. So right now there is inadequate control. So there is no consistency or control over engaging work processes. Let's say I want to make some change on a drawing. Then how do I go about it? Like what is the process defined? How do I easily initiate that change process? So without this solution, like there are issues related to that. There are inadequate control over such processes, which makes the life difficult for all the stakeholders. And which again then result in wasted time. So manual efforts to do common engineering tasks like revising a simple drawing. Then change management, difficult to communication of change requests with engineering team, offline field work. So I have to, let's say, change some drawings or some documents related to some assets where I need to work offline. So then it becomes very difficult to manage that work. So this solution helps with that as well. Then delayed go live. So all this results in a long cycle time. And also without a proper engineering solution in place, it becomes very difficult to hand over all the drawings and documents to operation teams. Then there is problem for related to fragmented global teams. Like globally distributed teams need a single source of truth and process consistency to ensure operational effectiveness. So how do we bring all this team together and allow them a better collaboration so that they can work on all these activities seamlessly? So that's another challenge. And then we should right now, without like any specific solution, there are limited insight and control over this entire process. We don't know like how many revision cycle a particular document has went through, where like how many documents or documents are coming from a vendor or a supplier. So there's a very limited insight at present with the solutions that are in market, or like in the absence of any solution which are specifically built for this engineering requirements. So these are the challenges, like few challenges that we have listed here, and that's why like we need a solution like Extended ECM for engineering. Now let's look at some of the features that this solution provides. So we will see in detail with the help of example in the system, like how to configure all these features and what are the use case for each of these in a specific business scenario. But let's, on a high level, let's go through like what are the different features that this solution provides. The first is bulk creation of documents with the help of let's say seed file or the templates, and applying appropriate naming conventions. So if I have to explain this in brief, so let's say I'm working on a let's say a blast furnace. So I'm working on creation of a blast furnace, and there are like hundreds and thousands of design documents that I need to prepare, like to finalize the design of that blast furnace. So in that case, some of the documents will be built by my engineering internal team, and some of them will be, let's say, created by outside vendors. But to control all this in one place, I need to first generate all the documents with a seed file, so that I can define a proper naming convention based on certain parameters like the project name, site name, and then maybe the particular, let's say, blast furnace name, and then the specification. So based on that, I want to create certain placeholders based on which my internal as well as my vendors can create those drawings. So this solution provides that feature. So I can use a CSV file and I can upload all the placeholder with the help of templates. Like placeholder, it will use the templates, predefined templates, so that at least we have certain information pre-filled, and then engineers and vendors can use the same for creating their drawings. So bulk creation, so that's the one first feature. Then again, very important, review and approval process. So that's very much required. So once I create a drawing, either by internal team or by my vendors, then I should have a mechanism of review and approval, so that it can get reviewed and approved before it is finalized. So for this review and approval, we have two mechanisms internally. We'll see that in detail. Like one is workflow that we normally have, and second is state flow. So which can define a flow for a particular document, and so that we can track its cycle. So we'll see that. Then third is revision control mechanism. So when we are revising a particular document or a drawing, then there has to be a revision control, so that it follows a certain path, predefined path. So we'll see like how to define that. So we do that with the help of a revision control definition, and we can define multiple definitions depending on our depending on our project or depending on the type of document we are creating. Then fourth is transmittal management. So let's say if we have to share certain drawings for certain work, or let's say we want to get certain documents created from our vendors or suppliers, in that case, we need to manage like for which project, how many documents we have shared, what are the versions they are sharing, how this collaboration will happen. So that entire piece is managed with the help of transmittal management. So that's an important feature that this solution provides. Along with transmittal, we also have a vendor and supplier collaboration. So it's both of this ties together and helps in like seamless management of the drawings and the documents between the internal team and the vendor and the supplier for that particular project. Then we have also features for viewing, redlining, and markup functionality. So there's this component called Brava that is part of this solution, which helps in viewing all the drawings, let's say CAD drawings or any other drawings created from other softwares. And then engineers can do the redlining. They can have the different layers stacked over each other. Then they can do the markup. So let's say I want to change certain piece or certain area in my drawing. I can just do the markup and I can write my comments and send it for let's say review and then final change by the engineer. We also have CAD integration. So certain attributes from our CAD software, we can directly integrate with this solution, so that it gets all those fields associated with the drawings that we are storing in this solution. We also have automatic document numbering. So based on certain metadata fields, let's say like project name or certain discipline or based on certain document types, so it automatically generates a name and associated with a particular drawing. So numbering, automatic document numbering is very important when it comes to engineering. So that's again this solution provides. Another important feature when it comes to integration is integration with SAP plant maintenance for asset management. And not only SAP, like it has features which can be used to integrate with other ERPs as well. So overall, like we can use this engineering solution with our existing, let's say SAP solutions, or with other ERP solutions as well. And it overall helps us in managing the entire end-to-end cycle. Then we also have features related to reports, dashboards, and easy search. Along with this, we also have all the base ECM functionality that comes with the content suite or the XECM suite, like version management, audit history, create date, modify date, all the tracking of those metadata, search based on the metadata. So all those basic functionalities are anyways available because this solution sits on top of that. So we'll see the architecture, like how it is structured. But it also has specific reports when it comes to engineering solution, or the dashboard specific to a particular role. So let's say I'm a document controller. Then I can define a specific dashboard for myself. Or if let's say I'm a project manager and I want to see certain information, then I can create my own dashboard based on my requirement. Searching again, let's say I want to see all the signed out documents for a particular project. Then I can easily find those. Or I want to see a particular status for a given document. Then I can filter all my documents based on that. So we will see all this in detail when we configure this system and we see certain business scenarios. So that time when we have these reports, dashboards, and all these features in general, so it will be more clear like how this is technically implemented in the system. So these are some of the features that are there, that are part of this extended ECM for engineering solution. Now let's see like how, again, like with the help of simple asset lifecycle phases, that how this helps us, and all these features help us in this process. So we have this plant design. So we have seen this example. So this is again, and then here we have information management for engineering projects. Then comes the information handover, and then information management for asset operation and maintenance. So these are the basic two broad phases. Like one is to plan, procure, and commission. Second is operate, maintain, and modify or decommission. And then our extended ECM for engineering sits with all the different features like bulk load, supplier collaboration, revision control, CAD integrations, markups, transmittal management. Some of the features like changes based on the version. So right now we are at the time of creating this course, we are at 22.3 or 20.22. So this is based on 20.2. So based on the, like, let's say maybe the future version, some more functionality will get added or some more. If you see this extended ECM for engineering, so this particular course we have built based on the new framework, that is the smart UI based framework that OpenText has come up with. So before that, like 16.x version was based on classic view, primarily on the classic view. And there the functionality was a little different when you compare it exactly with the smart view functionality. So in this course, mainly we will focus on the smart view side and the latest version side of things. We also have features for concurrent engineering, like when you want to make change to a drawing. And there are two projects which want to make that change. So both of them can sign out a particular document and do the changes. That's what this concurrent engineering refers to. Now let's look at some of the benefits. Like if we implement this particular solution, what is the ROI or what are the benefits that we will get or an organization will get? The first and foremost is the increased revenue due to the increased turnaround time. So when you have a predefined industry-based or industry standards for an engineering solution, and if you have that solution, it will help you reduce the turnaround time when it comes to managing your engineering documents. Changes can be done faster. There will be better collaboration, and which in turn will increase the revenue for the overall organization. Then it ensures governance and internal controls across the project and the operation lifecycle. So that's a very important benefit. So project managers, then the leaders can easily govern and control the entire project and its lifecycle. It also helps in improving the collaboration with internal as well as external stakeholders. So we have seen we have features like review and approval and the transmittal management, the supplier management. So all those helps in improved collaboration. Then it accelerates the handover to operation and maintenance team. So as soon as the asset is live, then we can easily hand it over to the maintenance team. Then it has tight integrations with SAP Enterprise Asset Management to streamline the asset lifecycle management itself. That's a very important benefit. And then we also, like, this solution also ensures that we have a single source of truth for all our engineering documents and asset information. So these are just the high level benefits, but it overall helps streamline the entire process itself. So there are so many benefits, tangible as well as intangible benefits that comes out once we implement this solution. So if we see like some of the intangible benefits, so it helps increase the productivity of the resources or the users, and that in turn help better retention of users, better engagement, and better satisfaction overall once you have all these processes defined as per this solution. So these are some of the benefits. Now let's see one example in the system. Let's say how we use this engineering solution in the system. So like as we discussed, like we have a master workspace and the project workspace feature. So the revised or the final approved document is always present in the master workspace, and any change that needs to be carried out that will happen in the project workspace. So as a document controller, so let's say if I want to create a new document related to certain a project or a certain let's say plant or any other equipment, then I will do that into the corresponding master workspace. So for example, let's open one of the master workspace that we have already configured here. So in master workspace there is a team defined, the metadata related to the workspace. Then we have the document section where we create all the folders where we segregate the documents based on the document types. So let's create one technical drawing. So for that we can directly upload the document, or we can also use the template. So we'll use the template. So, or we can even use the load sheet. So let's use the document from template. Here we will use the technical drawing template that we have configured. Then we will enter the document details. So let's say it's a design input I need here, or let's just a drawing. Then document type, subtype, and discipline. Then we can generate a unique number. So based on the ADN that we have configured here. And based on this, we can create this document. So the document is successfully created. So now as a document controller, what I can do, I can mark this as a control document so that it, so revision control definition will get applied here. And once this is under revision control mechanism, what I can do, I can sign this document out. I need to select the project where I need to sign it out. Then what is the revision status? So let's say we are signing it as the as-built version. So the engineer will upload the as-built version, and it will go for a review and approval cycle, and after that it will be again signed back. So once I submit, this is successfully signed out. We can directly go to the location. So now we are in the project workspace. So as soon as we sign this document out, so in project workspace, we get a signed out control document folder where all the documents will be signed out from the respective master workspaces. So in our case, this was the master workspace, and we signed out one technical drawing. So here, this is the technical drawing. Now as a document controller, I can also associate a state flow. So a state flow is used to control the states that this document will follow. So let's say I want to associate it with a review and approval state flow, so that the engineer can update the document, and then the reviewer and approver can approve those. So I can associate that. So this all thing can be also be automated using workflows and web reports. So that is also possible. Now a state is also assigned to it. Now if I see the property of this particular document, I would see, let's say first revisions. So here you can see this document was signed out as the as-built version. So first it was controlled and signed out from the master workspace to the project workspace. So this is the master workspace and this is the signed out copy. And if you see the state flow also, it is under review. Basically it is under preparation. So depending on our scenario, we can define the state flow. And depending on the state, it will be assigned to the respective users. Either it can be an engineer, designer, or like reviewer and approvers. So that will again depend on the state flow that we will design for this scenario. So now let's say I am an engineer, so I will go to the document. So what I will what will happen? I will get an assignment. So let's say if I open another tab. So ABCDWG electrical is the document name. So let's see if I go to home page. So let's assume that I am a engineer who will work on this. So this is the state flow that we have assigned, and you can see this document is here. So what I can do as an engineer, I can add the as-built version. So let's say I add the as-built version of the document, and then once done, I will transition it to the next state. So I am doing it as an engineer, and I have reviewed it from my side. Or we can also, like, ideally it should be engineering document completed or the document completed state. But let's use this for the demo purpose. So now this is done. Now let's go back. Now, so as an engineer, I have already done my part. So now there will be reviews for this particular document. So if I just refresh this page, I see that transition has been performed. Engineer, like we only using admin user for our demo purpose, but in actual scenario, engineer will log in with his account and will perform this particular step. Now let's quickly perform like other transitions as well. So we'll select this transition. Now we are performing this as the designer. So we will complete the review. Then again, let's perform another review. So there are 2-3 reviewers as part of this state flow. So one more transition we will do as a final document controller. So there's the only reviewer remain in this particular state. So this is very basic example like that one uses in this engineering solution. So now if you see under review state is complete. Now it's a like review complete state. So this has moved to the next state. Now we need to do the approval. So review is complete. Now let's perform the approval. So now there are 2 roles but we have selected like either of them can approve this. So let's say as a project manager, I approve this. So it depends, like we want only one approver to do the work, or we want all the approvers in that flow to do the work. So it's again depends on the configuration. You can see now the approval is complete. So we can see the transitions that has been performed. So once this is done, as a document controller, I can finish the final transition. That is to stop this transition. So as a project manager or as a document controller, I can complete this. So this is done. And then finally, as a document controller, what I can do, I can sign this document back. So this was signed in successfully. So now if I go to my master workspace, or let's go to that from here itself. from the related tab. From the related tab, we can open the associated master workspace. If I open the property of this particular document, so I will get the signed in version, the final version in my master workspace. So if I see the revisions, you can see it was signed out and then signed in as the as-built version. So the two versions of the document will be available now here. So if I see the versions, because engineer added the final version, second version. So this is how like a typical flow works. So anything that we need to change, or let's say if you have to create new documents as well. So the origin will be the master workspace. From there, if any change has to be done, it will be signed out into the project workspace. There the team will work. Even team can send it to the external vendor using transmittal. If there are any drawings or any document that needs to be created by vendor through the transmittal process, and then it can go for an internal review and approval. Once that is complete, the document controller will finally sign the document back to the master workspace. If you see here, like these are the extended ECM for engineering functionality that comes with the smart view. So from here we can define revision controls. We can set up the ADN sequences, CAD attributes, state flows. So like there are so many features that comes with this solution. Just for the demo purpose, I just wanted to show you one simple scenario along with this overview, benefits and features that we discussed. So thank you for joining me today here. Have a nice day.